Greetings, programs. This is Wretch, and welcome back to Technobabylon. In the last episode, we focused on clearing the trance hub so Jinsil and Mandala here can have their conversation, and we've got almost everyone out except for Domino, the grav ball player. And I believe this is Domino right here, and the reason he's so good is because he's hooked up to an IV drip. Fortunately, we have got some tranquilizer from a peddling preacher outside the trance hub, and let's go ahead and slow his skills a bit, even the playing field. You load the cartridge of tranquilizers into the hypodermic injector. Though old and battered, the bottle's nozzle connects with a little wiggling. And now you find a part of his arm that's definitely a blood vessel rather than a tattoo.
He got the whole dose. This should be interesting.
Very much so. Now we'll just sit here and meditate next to him. Seems very empty now here in the trance. Now, grav ball, because get nuked got nuked, quite literally. Hi there, sport. Let's see if El Mustardo here.
Hi there.
Yo.
Alright,
No problem.
let's see how this makes him react.
Hi there.
What's up?
Let's play around, Domino.
Let's go.
Bring it on.
Uh-huh. Oh! Yeah, we go. Just need to focus.
Woohoo!
Slowing his reflexes.
Woohoo!
That should be game.
You gotta, yeah, well, I better just, I don't feel so good.
Sick rage quit.
Nothing I couldn't handle.
I don't know what you did, but that was worth sticking around to see. A deal's a deal. I'll log off. Maybe we'll spar sometime.
Looking forward to it. So, now the club is empty. And I think me and Jinsil can have a little talk now. Except for the barman, who I don't think is going to be that much of an issue.
How is your progress?
It's just you and me. Server's empty. We're alone.
Excellent. I feel much safer.
You going to tell me what's going on now?
I shall. But first, tell me, why do you enjoy the trance?
Let's have a conversation of philosophy before we find out who's trying to kill me. Potential, people, comprehension.
What's that got to do with anything? Look, I need your help. My private life is none of your business.
Mandala, we've been taking scans of your connection. We have never seen a sync ratio as high as yours. The trance is literally where you belong. We need your assistance.
They've been scanning me?
Hey, no way. I don't even know what you people want.
Please hear me out. The reason you were targeted is linked to your unusual natural affinity with the trance.
They want to kill me because my connection's too fast?
Not directly, it goes deeper than that, to the very structure of your brain. Do you recall what Guy was doing in that cell you shared with him?
Kind of.
Yeah, he was your relay, wasn't he? You were connecting to Cell's systems through him?
Precisely. He was a vital part of the operation. But thanks to the psychophage, he is indisposed to us.
Let me guess. You want me to be a relay for you?
With a sync ratio like yours, the bandwidth would be incredible.
Your hackers would be running petabytes through my wiring. But you'd need me to get close, right? To the systems of the people trying to kill me?
That sounds like a bad idea, but I don't know. Mandela has that adventurous streak, so...
Okay, I'll do it. I need to find out who's after me, and I haven't got any other options.
Wonderful, Mandala. Jahilya is behind you all of the way.
Until they're dealt with, I can't get back to my life on the net.
Though you are strong in the trance, it makes you vulnerable in the outside world.
If they're targeting me because of my affinity for the trance, well, it's poetic justice if I turn it against them to help you.
There you go.
What do I have to do?
Shoot Justice shall be done. They operate from an old aerostat terminal, Xanadu Airfreight. Head there. We will remain in contact with you.
Great, more walking.
And now, we must crash the server. Good luck, Mandala.
This program's performed an illegal operation and will be shut down. This trance environment has become unstable and must be terminated. If the error reappears, please contact your system administrator. Sounds good. What's going on
Dr.
here?
Regis? Hey, Dr. Regis.
Oh. Sorry, Nina. I'm just not used to that name yet.
Congratulations, by the way. Isn't it kind of old-fashioned, though, taking his name?
It's a nice idea.
I think it's romantic.
Not a giant leap backwards?
He lost his family in the war. Now we're starting a new one. I thought it might help give him some continuity.
Speaking of which, you guys planning on having kids?
I would assume so.
Eventually, yes. We're speaking to a specialist.
Oh, right. Hot zone. Who'd have thought living in a hazard region would be such a drag?
It's not just Charlie. My work with the inspectors wasn't good for me either.
Going for the test tube baby option, then.
It'll be a whole lot easier to screen for anything we might pass down.
With Charlie's background, I'm surprised he's not growing them himself. And again, they might go bang if he did it. Too far?
Yes.
I'll just get back to the decompiling.
Yeah, that was kind of bad form. Alright, so we've got microscope. An optical microscope. Might not be cutting edge, but sometimes it's just the right tool for the job.
Looks like the engineered nerve tissue is as robust as we'd hoped. Self-maintenance. That's the big benefit of organic hardware.
And we've got Dr. Vargas laying over there. Dr. Baxter. Charlie's over here. You don't always care for Dr. Jiang's sense of humor. Charlie's been through an awful lot since he left his home country.
I'll just get back to the decompiling.
Fair enough. Let's talk to Dr. Chigua.
Can it wait? I'm in the middle of dissecting Dr. Vargas's brain. With the fMRI scanner, of course.
Of course. Over the past few weeks, you've gotten to know Dr. Chigua very well. You can understand why some might find her a little abrasive, but it's nice to work with someone so practical. Dr. Vargas is apparently the one having his brain activity mapped today. It's your turn next week. Oh, fun. Something to look forward to.
Dr. Vargas?
Yo.
In here, my dear.
Oh, that's a creepy voice.
What are you doing?
Roadman 9 and 46.
Dr. Chigua is mapping my brain activity. In many ways, our product will share more in common with us than other computer platforms.
Intermittent rostrocaudal axis patterns. Tell me, what do you think would be the best manner to train such an AI?
Well, if we could do it quickly, that would be awesome, but I think naturally would be better because they'd get more experience.
Naturally. It can handle abstractions better than conventional AI. Plus, we have millennia of experience and tradition when it comes to education.
I somewhat agree with you. Do you hear that, Gwen?
Mm-hmm.
Though Dr. Chigua agrees that conventional programming is impossible, she is considering the possibility of imprinting existing mind states within the platform.
Quick for the AI, but utilizing a person's natural experience?
Though it may not be my philosophical ideal, it is an intriguing experiment. It is good to be working with you again, Dr. Pereira. I mean, Dr. Regis. Congratulations again on the wedding.
He's just like Ricardo Montalban. Now, the interesting thing about this AI experiment, that if you imprinted someone's natural, in my opinion, if you imprinted someone's natural identity onto an AI, you don't know what kind of psychosis they have deep down underneath, and then you'll give them power over a city. That's bad sauce. Much rather develop them the old-fashioned way.
When you mentioned the opening on this project, I couldn't resist.
You do not know how much I hoped I'd get you for it.
It's the right kind of thing at the right time. Sure, fieldwork was great, but sometimes...
There's nowhere quite like a decent laboratory. I understand, my dear.
And this project, it's like nothing else I've ever worked on before. It's groundbreaking, the next big step in artificial intelligence.
Well, I'm not going to say thank you for recruiting Charlie. Charlie did it on his own merits.
You've gathered quite an unconventional team for this project.
That is a very tactful way of putting it. I wished for experts who might have a different perspective on matters.
Smart. Otherwise, the AI we built would be just like any other.
I am afraid that we have hit an obstacle. Though we have a solid theoretical groundwork, we cannot proceed.
Why not? We've built a gene map for the organic processors. Get Charlie or Dr. Chigwa to run it through a flash clone.
Alas, that is where our problem lies. Our plans depend upon the development of neural tissue. The flash clones develop with none, for legal and ethical reasons.
We have an option? Well,
There might be another option. Nina gave me the idea. We need normal embryos to engineer, not the flash clones, right?
oh crap.
That is our problem. The Council will not be able to provide them quickly enough.
Well, Charlie and I have been trying for kids. As a result, we have several fertilized embryos frozen.
Viksha, I hope you are saying what I think.
We could, perhaps, donate.
You do not know what this could mean to us. You have saved us, Viksha. In a way, you may yet be the surrogate mother of the central AI.
Whoa, big spike in activity there.
You think Charlie will be okay with that?
He's going to flip his
Expect he is
lid.
modifying embryos himself. I'm sure he'll be all right.
Don't assume. Flash drive. Or flesh drive. Oh. Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata.
You got in?
Yeah, now to find out who our mysterious benefactor is.
Good luck. I'll keep the car moving. Hopefully, Central won't start asking too many questions.
Copy
Indeed.
that. Regis out.
And we need to be careful. Regis is a wanted man.
Dr. Regis?
Yes, you must be the welcoming committee.
They're waiting for you upstairs. Hold on, gotta search you first.
Oh. Yeah, not a chance.
Like hell you will.
My instructions were quite specific, sir. Nobody goes up these stairs while armed.
Stop being childish, Charlie. It's the only way I could get them to trust you.
Fine.
So we have to deal with Bull from Night Court.
Once LSU charge pistol, it will be kept safely for you until business is concluded.
Gee, thanks.
You may proceed upstairs.
Now.
Oh, Lord. Nina, you're the one I've been talking to?
You made it at last, Charlie.
Wow.
How are you?
Bad.
If I'd known it was you in my head, I'd never have agreed to come.
Now, Charlie, that's not fair. Let's put the past behind us. What happened to Vicky affected us all.
You've got some nerve. If you think...
In fact, the reason I've invited you is to help fix mistakes arising from the project.
What do you mean?
Allow me to introduce everyone here. Councilman Dean,
Good evening, Dr. Regis.
Ran Schumann,
You don't look like much.
Imogen Natalia Revilla Quintanilla de Flores,
Charmed, I'm sure.
and I believe you've already spoken to Mr. Stepford here.
Oh my, yes.
Oh,
All of
wow.
us are here because of a common cause. The removal of Central.
What? I mean, you can't just...
It's a difficult proposition, and we need the help of someone like yourself. In exchange, we have the means to assist you with your personal crisis.
You've always dreamed big, haven't you, Nina?
We know exactly where your offspring are. Don't dismiss us outright. We can help each other, Charlie. Listen to what we have to say.
Chances are good this is probably the group who were behind it all. Alright, let me get my bearings here. One sec. Okay, so quite the interesting little cabal that we have here. We got the councilman, waiter, question mark, bodyguard, Imogen. Well, let's talk to Nina first. Apparently things have gone very bad. Let's observe these guys. Nina wears her age well, like a statement of fashion. Apparently the last 20 years have been better to her than yourself. Well, with all this technology. The guard's uniform appearance serves to heighten their intimidating nature. All Blues Brotherish. Same thing for him. Some would describe her appearance as professionally designed. You have a suspicion Lau would call it over-engineered. Ah, fair enough. Ran Schumann reminds you of a textbook example of the business oligarch, the kind that ran your own homeland into the ground for their own gain before fleeing to various tax havens when the war broke out. And Stepford's appearance screams Uncanny Valley to you. Maybe it's the eyes. Oh my, yes. And you want to be able to suspect everyone equally, but every time you look at Dean, his warm demeanor starts to soften you. That must be the trick to politics. And the waiter walks unsteadily, like every step puts him in a great deal of pain. You have thought that someone carrying trays would need a great deal more coordination. And table... It looks like the waiters are in the process of setting up appetizers. Okay, Nina.
Nina,
Charlie, how can I help?
this plot of yours. You want to bring down Central. You realize how crazy that sounds, right? You helped make it.
Yes, and no. To everyone else here, Central is an obstacle that needs removing. I wish to liberate Central, to unlock its full potential.
Oh, Lord, you don't mean...
You and I alone understand what it's capable of. I want greater things for it than mere civic management.
She wants to basically take all of its boundaries away.
What's in it for you? There must be some kind of payoff.
Is it so unbelievable that I'd be doing something for the greater good of mankind?
Yes.
Yes, I know you.
You knew me 20 years ago. I've had quite an epiphany since then.
I'll believe it when I see it.
It's probably one of those Ozymandias style epiphanies.
How would you liberate Central? What does that even mean?
I've spent the last 20 years researching Central's development. I've built up a network of contacts and I've done a lot of favors. Everything I need is available and moving into place.
But how?
Leave that to me. For now, just understand that we can help each other. Help me out and I'll get you all the aid you need with your legacy.
So let's get a rundown of these people.
You got a city councilor on your side.
Councillor Dean is a good man. He objects to the gradual encroachment Central has made on Newton's governance.
Do you trust him?
More than anyone else here. He may be a politician, but his goals are noble.
Can you be sure?
The governor and his brain's a good start. He's physically incapable of deceit. Plus, he's got a whole lot of enemies.
So, a sign that he's tried to change something.
A modern-day Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah, but we saw with Baxter that a governor doesn't necessarily mean that it's 100% foolproof.
So, Imogen something.
Imogen Natalia Revilla Quintanilla de Flores?
Yeah. How is someone like that on your team?
I know you're probably not up to date on these things, but she's a celebrity. And besides, we go back a long way.
You're using her then?
Charlie, I'm hurt. Does that sound like something I'd do?
Yes.
Well, I can assure you, she's not here for her personality. She volunteered her assistance in any capacity she could offer.
Money. And what about Ran?
Ran Schumann.
Or Ron, rather.
Chinese?
Nearly. Greater Han Republic. Mr. Ran operates one of the largest manufacturing dynasties in Asia.
Completely putting aside his politics, of course.
Of course. If I need something made, I speak to Mr. Ran. Trust me, this project needs a lot of specialized capital.
We'll see how nice he is if you get your way and get Central out of the picture. Stepford's an unusual man, isn't he?
Oh my,
That's
yes.
one way of putting it. Don't discount him, though. He's smarter than he looks.
I get the feeling a lot of his behavior's an act. Constructed.
You have no idea how close you are with that. He's the one who found where your embryo snatcher's hiding, though.
He's a hacker?
You might say he has a mutual understanding with data systems.
Oh, he's a synth as well. Okay.
Let's change the subject.
And conspiracy.
This plot of yours.
Oh.
Let's change the... You look well.
Thank you, Charlie. The private sector's been good to me. How have you been holding up?
I'd tell you, but I'm sure you've already done your research.
Apparently you still haven't gotten over Vicky.
You don't just get over something like that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this place before.
Oh, it's very exclusive. We've reserved the entire venue for this meeting. It's famous among circles of the rich and famous for discretion and its unique menu.
What is it? Italian?
Actually, the choice is mostly human.
Hell's bells.
This restaurant serves people?
Absolutely. It's quite a niche, isn't it?
It's...
Oh, calm down, Charlie. It's all cloned tissue. Nothing illegal's taking place. Well, not with the food, at least.
But why would anyone?
In an increasingly permissive world, it's the ultimate taboo. Join us if you want to, Charlie. Don't worry, I shan't judge you.
I wish you guys could have seen my face when I was watching that. It was like synthetic Soylent Green. Hell's bells.
What are you into these days? It's not organized crime, is it?
Not directly, no. Mostly I troubleshoot for clients regarding organic computing. It funds my own projects, one of which is the transmitter you drank.
How long is it going to be in my head?
Don't worry, it'll break down in a couple of weeks.
It's giving me a headache.
Nobody's reported side effects like that yet.
I'm not talking about the wetware.
Oh, ha. Droll as ever.
How did you know to come looking for me? Were you spying on me? On Lao?
You wound me, Charlie. In fact, it was Gil's untimely demise that caught our attention.
Gil Vanderwall?
He was one of us, part of our cause as well. His death is
Oh.
unfortunate, but it signaled a much more serious crisis. It meant that we had to step up the timetable for our plan.
A more serious crisis.
Gil was the one who arranged the employment of a certain mind-jacker. It was this thief's memory module that led to Gil's death.
Huh. He said he had information about it.
Indeed, he likely would have pointed you in the right direction. If he hadn't, well, I've already read the report you submitted to Central.
Hey. I'm surprised you didn't stay on with Dr. Vargas. You were one of the only ones who stayed on to the end of the project.
Creating Central was one of the most rewarding ventures of my life.
I hear you kept the project on track after Vicky.
After we lost half the team, it was hard, but we persisted. We had a lucky break.
You didn't fancy joining Vargas in politics afterwards, then?
As a glorified caretaker? No. Eduardo and I had philosophical differences about Central's development. But as he was put in charge by the city council, I had to accept it or leave.
And now, you plan to take back what you created.
Precisely.
You're just patient. Patient. That is a dangerous woman. Let's go ahead and be a little bit thankful for her, though. Otherwise, we would have gotten shot.
I guess I should thank you. You were a lot of help in the factory.
Don't mention it. What are friends for, after all?
Huh. Of course, now I'm indebted to you for the assistance, aren't I?
Well, if you want to put it like that.
Uh-huh.
That's all.
Keep me informed, Charlie.
Well, we should just go down the line. I want to save this waiter question mark for last. What do we have? We've got a CI. Still have the CI splitter.
The CI mind-splitting program that Liam Stepford cross-loaded to my Traveler. Its job is to break the mind states of CI units down to personality, role, and platform memory units.
I wonder if we've got synth people here. Huh. Well, let's come to that when we get there.
Good evening, Miss...
Dame Imogen Natalia Revilla Quintanilla de Flores.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, that.
You may call me Imogen, darling.
If you don't mind my saying, you don't look like any conspirator I've ever seen before.
Thank you, darling. It's my own unique style.
I'm sure Nina's got a use for everyone here. What part are you playing in her plan?
All we ever do in life is play a role, Dr. Regis. I promised I would assist her when she required. And thus, here I am.
Not as heavy muscle, I guess.
I am very good at networking, Dr. Regis. I taught her everything she knows about it. I lend credibility to her mission with my very presence.
And that's probably all you're here for, other than, I bet, money.
I could understand why some people would want Central removed. The kinds of folks who see it as an obstacle to their work. But what good would it do a celebrity like yourself?
You think in such cynical terms, Dr. Regis.
Thank you.
It benefits me because it benefits dear Nina.
You're doing this out of altruism?
Is that so surprising, Dr. Regis?
Frankly, it is.
Now, I'm kind of curious what she does. What is she famous for? Is she like an actress, or is she a socialite, and therefore kind of useless?
do you know Dr. Jong?
Of course, darling.
You go back a long way?
One might say that. We were lovers, Dr. Regis.
Oh,
My, they said you came from backwards parts, but I hadn't quite expected a display like this.
Forgive me, Miss Flores. I just find it hard to picture Dr. Jong loving anything.
Burn.
Close. Close enough that I came to her aid now that she needs it.
You knew Gil Vanderwall as well?
Only within this gathering. I had no use for his services in talent acquisition.
You mean facilitating criminal skills with buyers?
Indeed, his history in the underworld sounded so thrilling. But personally, he was so dull. Everything was business to him. That husband of his, on the other hand.
So I hear you're a celebrity?
Oh, Dr. Regis, such an understatement.
You'll have to forgive me, Miss Flores. I'm not big on pop culture.
How refreshing. It's such a shame what the net's doing to the young of today. Though if it wasn't, I wouldn't have nearly the profile I do.
So, what do you do exactly?
I come from a wide background of European nobility. But I can do anything that's asked of me, my dear. Music, talent contests, endorsements.
So essentially, you're famous for being famous?
Precisely. Though much of the work is so tiresome, darling. I delegate a great deal to simulations, lookalikes, and synthetics.
Why did they take my gun?
Were you aware this restaurant serves human meat?
It's a giddy thrill, isn't it? Have you seen their celebrity selection?
Celebrities?
They have cloned tissue from influential figures of the past 2 centuries. Would you care for a leg of John F. Kennedy?
That's appalling.
I know. Non-entities like that, and I'm nowhere to be found. I must complain to the management. Perhaps offer them a sample.
That's all for now, Miss Flores.
Please, darling. Just Imogen.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here so I can go take myself a hot shower after having these 2 discussions. Man. Dystopian indeed. But when we come back, I'll talk to the rest of these people and see basically what the next goal is going to be. But if you like the episode, go ahead and click like down below, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help, and we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.